Transenterix, ticker symbol TRXC, has slowly become one of the most popular companies on my channel. You guys absolutely love this company, y'all love this stock, y'all love these updates, and so with that being said, you guys know the drill. When what you demand, I deliver. I try to bring you guys as much content and value as I possibly can about your favorite stocks, and today we are going to be going even more in depth about this company. Now, before I did get into the video, I did want to show you guys something that I mentioned in my last video as well. So this gain that I talked about in the last video, this is something that was sent to me from a Patreon of mine. This is solely from TRXC. This man went all in, which I'm not gonna lie, I don't necessarily always recommend just putting all of your investment into one company. But after he did see the, what I said in the Patreon, and then what he did see on my YouTube channel, he did believe that this company had a lot of potential, and then he did go ahead and go in. He made almost $9,000 in profits off of this one company. So if you do want exclusive access to all of my trades and my trade portfolio, if you do want all of my research and due diligence that comes along with the content that I do put out, especially my analysis videos, definitely consider going down to the link below and checking out my Patreon. We have a fantastic community of almost 100 people now, different investors and traders who bounce ideas off of each other, and I really do believe that it could be a fantastic opportunity for anyone involved. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead. I did want to bring you guys something different about TRXC today. I always talk about the numbers, or I bring you all the news, and yesterday I brought you all the news about them getting the CE mark approval on the ISU. Now, all I did was just give a quick update about it and just said that, basically I think this could be really big, especially in them being able to expand out their consumer base. But I never really brought to you guys what exactly this means, what does CE mark approval on this mean, and then what does that mean for the potential of this company going forward, especially when we look at augmented intelligence. So that is exactly what we will be going over today. I hope you guys do enjoy today's video. If you do, you can let me know by smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel if you are new. Now let's go ahead and let's jump straight into this information about Transenterix, ticker symbol TRXC. So as we can see here, that yesterday announced that they received CE mark approval for the ISU. Now the ISU is what I'm going to be referring to, and that is the Intelligent Surgical Unit. But what this does is it enables machine vision capabilities of the Senhance surgical system. This approval will provide Senhance digital laparoscopic programs in Europe access to this new technology, ushering them to the forefront of surgical innovation utilizing augmented intelligence. So before, they already had the Senhance and they were working with the the Senhance surgical system, but this is a full-blown upgrade. This adds augmented intelligence to the overall system, and it just improves it. Like they do say here, it ushers them to the forefront of surgical innovation, and it gives them access to this new technology that genuinely does provide better results. So with that being said, we did get a quote that I had not mentioned yet, and it does say here, this is going to be coming from the CEO. It says that augmented intelligence powered by machine vision will be one of the primary drivers in transforming surgery to enhance the capabilities of surgeons. We have already successfully implemented augmented intelligence in the US with the Senhance system after receiving FDA clearance last year. They are pleased to expand this important capability to our broader global user base. So what this means is that it is already cleared. They have already implemented augmented intelligence in the US. So they've proven that it already works. This isn't a system where, yeah, they got approved, but they still have proving to do whenever it comes to the actual, practicality of their software. No, this is already proven to work, and now it's simply a game of expanding out their consumer base. Now, what I did point out yesterday was that I believe that this was important because now that they have gotten, FDA approval and a CE mark approval, it's so much, such a high level of credibility whenever it comes to being two of the biggest, administrations that are actually giving them approval, that I do believe it's going to make it super easy for them to get approved and, regulated and everything like that in other countries. Because whenever you look at a company, realistically, if they have FDA approval and they have a CE mark approval, the likelihood of them not getting approved in another country, especially if it's a smaller country, is just unlikely, simply for the fact that a lot of the regulations do stem from the ones you see here in the US and over in Europe. So I really do believe, again, that the consumer base potential for this is fantastic. But what I did want to go over today was the overall global augmented intelligence market from 2020 to 2027. Now, this does pertain to other fields, not specifically healthcare, but I do believe that with this, this complete uptrend in augmented intelligence, and as it is starting to gain a lot of momentum going into the future, that it will also translate in the healthcare field, and we will see more companies want to use augmented intelligence, which could could be perfect for Transenterix since they are already working on developing this technology and perfecting it. Whereas many companies, as augmented intelligence does gain popularity, they will start to want to, work on augmented intelligence and start to want to put all together all this technology. Whereas I believe Transenterix is going to be at the forefront. And like I said earlier, it'll usher them to the forefront of this overall race, which could be perfect for this company growing into the future, growing up their revenues, having overall investors, and getting new consumers. So there are many reasons as to why augmented intelligence has grown in popularity over the recent years. But I do believe that whenever it comes to digital laparoscopy, whenever it comes to this, this whole surgical movement and everything that we are seeing with them trying to grow the augmented intelligence sector, I think it's very important to note that it plays a major role in making these surgeries much more efficient, much more cost effective, and overall eliminates so many different variables that are possible. Now, whenever it comes to, okay, well, augmented intelligence is more of a, it's not artificial intelligence. It's not just going to do everything by itself. So why is it important? Well, this article pretty much perfectly summarizes it. It says that why augmented intelligence is better deal in healthcare than artificial intelligence. Well, it says that can we possibly trust machines with our lives? Not yet, and probably not anytime soon. And I agree. I don't think that artificial intelligence is so fully capable of doing everything that humans are doing that we can just sit back and watch it go. I don't think that's a good idea, as technology does change and there are variables that will come up with technology if it's not under some type of control. Well, it says here that therefore we are not yet looking at completely replacing doctors and healthcare staff. What we need is to find synergies between machines and physicians so that machines can assist the former in doing what they do faster and more efficiently. So that's the perfect explanation as to why I believe that augmented intelligence is so important. Because again, no one really trusts artificial intelligence, and no one really trusts a machine to just do a full-blown open heart surgery or some type of really important surgery. Whereas I believe that they're like, yeah, you can use technology and you can use augmented intelligence, which will just make your job a lot easier, more efficient, and eliminate some of these variables. And I'll feel a little bit more comfortable with that surgery, just speaking from a patient side. And so I do believe that this is very, very important as to why augmented intelligence has so much capability and potential going into the future. Now, there is another reason as to why I believe that augmented intelligence is going to perform so phenomenally over time. Now, it's simply for the fact that, like we just mentioned, that artificial intelligence isn't really trusted yet. No one's really going to put their life at the hand of something that is fully automatic. Whereas I do believe that augmented intelligence is going to allow that gap, is going to fill that gap between using the cost effectiveness and the elimination of all these variables that technology offers, while also keeping it personal and while also keeping it under the control of a human. Now, we did have a study here that was, done by Harvard Business. It says that they asked participants to indicate their preference between two providers on a 7-point scale. When participants chose between two human doctors varying in their performance, all patients preferred the human doctor with the higher performance. But when choosing between a human doctor and an AI provider, participants' preference for the higher performing AI provider was significantly weaker. In other words, participants were willing to forego better healthcare to have a human rather than an AI care provider. And so that's exactly what I mean whenever I say that people don't necessarily trust artificial intelligence right now. Now, do I think eventually down the line we're going to see AI slowly start to take over? Yes, I do. Not like Terminator, but just be in more of use whenever it comes to getting things done. But I believe that there's going to be a bridge that needs to be built between humane and technologic, and that bridge is augmented intelligence. That's where it plays such a hand. And I think that this is going to be a very long process and something that Transenterix can take advantage of very, very much. So I'm very excited to see how they do progress out. Like I said, there's 70% of this, overall market that has not been touched by this company yet. So as they do continue to expand out into other countries, and as they do try to figure out what countries can, best benefit them and have the highest, turnover rates, I'm very interested to see how that all does play out. Let me know what your opinions on TRXC and the overall augmented intelligence industry. I know it is a little bit confusing sometimes in trying to understand what exactly the technology does, but once you think about it and once you figure it all out, you start to realize that the capabilities of augmented intelligence are vast. And I'm very excited, again, to see how far are they willing to take this thing? Are they going to get the right financial backing and investments going into the company so they can keep up operations and then expand out? Will they be able to pull this all off? I think so. I really do. But this is a big task at hand, and I'm very interested to see how they do, how it all does play out. Again, let me know what you all think about this down in the comment section below. I hope you did find some value and entertainment from today's video. If you did, you can let me know by smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel if you are new. With that being said, I post 2 to 3 times every single day, so I'll be seeing you all soon. Peace.